What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks so much for hitting the like button for us down below. We got a lot to cover here today. Hope you had a fabulous Easter weekend. And if you celebrate Passover or if you're just celebrating the weekend, hope it was fabulous for you guys. Let's jump right in. First of all, we had Ukrainian President Zelensky just did an interview with Jake Tapper over in Ukraine. First of all, I wouldn't want to be there. Very, very dangerous to even be there. Imagine how dangerous it is for the Ukrainian president. He's literally target number one for the Russian and the Russian army. They literally talk about how he could be killed in action, and he talks about how his family could not see him at any given time. And they talk, the United States, the CIA director talks about how Russia could use nuclear weapons here any day. Yeah, it's major things, and a lot of people think that World War III could break out here. Finland and Sweden are actually training people in their army right now because of threats that Russia has made against them. And this is turning into a very major thing here right now. Yeah, check this out.
A Russian warship, the Moskva, the one that Ukrainian soldiers told to F off, sank. The Russians say, and the Russians are liars, but the Russians say it sank on its own. Can you offer some clarity and evidence as to what happened to that ship?
We know that it is gone. For us, it is a serious weapon against our country. That is why the fact that it sank is not a tragedy for us. I want you and everyone else to know that. The less weapons the Russian Federation who attacked our country has, the better it is for us, the less powerful they are. This is all, and it is the most important thing. And what happened to it? Time will tell.
The new Russian offensive in the east, in the Donbass, could start any day. Your administration officials have warned that it could look as big as World War II. You won the Battle of Kyiv. Are you going to win the fight for the Donbass?
For us, the battle for Donbass is very important. It is important for different reasons. For the reason of safety, first of all, our grouping that is located in Donbass is one of the best military we have. It is a large grouping, and Russia wants to encircle them and destroy them. It is nearly 40,000 people. It is 44,000 professional military men who survived a great war from the beginning of 2014. This is why it is very important for us to preserve that part of our army that is one of the most powerful. This is why it is very important for us not to allow them to stand our ground, because this battle, and it can happen, so there will be several battles, and we don't know how long it is going to take, it can influence the course of the whole war. Because I don't trust the Russian military and Russian leadership. That is why we understand that the fact that we fought them off, and they left, and they were running away from Kyiv, from the north, from Chernihiv, and from that direction, it doesn't mean if they are able to capture Donbass, they won't come further towards Kyiv. That is why, for us, this battle is very important for many reasons. It is very important to win this battle.
The director of the CIA warned that he's worried Putin might use a tactical nuclear weapon in this fight. Are you worried?
Not only me. I think all of the world, all the countries have to be worried, because you know that it can be not real information, but it can be truth. True, because when they begin to speak about one or another battles or involves enemies or nuclear weapons or some chemical, issues, chemical weapons, they should do it. They could do it. I mean, so they can. For them, life of the people is nothing. That's why we should think, not be afraid. I mean, that not be afraid, be ready. But that is not the question to Ukraine, and not only for the Ukraine, for all the world. I think so.
There is a possibility of them using these weapons. Nobody expected there to be a full-scale invasion of Ukraine from the Russian Federation. No one expected there to be a war in 2014. And now that there will be a full-scale invasion and killing of civilians, nobody expected them to invade the areas where there is no military equipment and just kill and shoot dead the civilian population. Nobody expected that. But this is a fact, and it happened. And that is when Russia gives information and says if something goes not according to plan, they can use chemical weapons and their nuclear potential. And that is why I believe these are dangerous claims of untrustworthy people. And if we believe some of them are already untrustworthy, then they can use nuclear weapons.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Putin would use nukes? We know that Russia has nukes. And the question is, would he actually do it? We know that they basically have no regard for human lives over in Ukraine. We know they have no regard for civilian lives either. We know this. I mean, they literally just attacked a train station with civilian lives on there. We know what they've done in multiple regions here. The other question is if they do start a nuclear war in Ukraine, does the rest of the world, including the United States, say, that's it, that's enough, we have to step in? And really, is that the start of World War III? This is a major, major thing because we could be 1 week or 1 month away from World War III. We had World War II, which was, less than a lifetime ago. We've had, Iraq, Afghanistan, all these, Vietnam, all these different wars. So it's not like this is out of the realm of possibility. And of course, what is already going on in Ukraine, it is a scary thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
How bad are things in Mariupol, and what can be done to help the people of Mariupol?
The situation is very difficult in Mariupol. It's clear that things won't get better. With each passing day, it's growing more unstable. Unfortunately, it is difficult for different reasons. I will not talk about the cruelty with which the Russian authorities have treated Mariupol, the Russian military. There are two components. No one knows how many people died among the civilian population. If anyone gives you a figure, it would be a total lie. Hundreds of thousands were evacuated. Several thousand, tens of thousands, were forced to evacuate in the direction of the Russian Federation. And we do not know where they are. They've left no document trail. And among them are several thousands of children. We want to know what happened to them, whether they are in good health. Unfortunately, there just isn't any information on this. And regarding what population has remained there, we also don't have a definitive answer. One day they say there are 50,000 or 60,000 left there. And then another day, someone says 100,000. And now we have information that perhaps 10,000 people have died there, all civilians who stayed. We're talking about civilian deaths, not military.
And we heard about 5,000 children. deported from this region to Russian side because they didn't allow them to go to the Ukrainian side, I mean the Ukrainian control side. Yeah, that's it. So we don't know what is with their children. Where are they? Nobody knows. And so that is, and that's why I said that the question is more than difficult and more than complicated. So there are a lot of information which we have to check and which we don't know exactly.
Do you have any idea how many Ukrainian soldiers or Ukrainian civilians have been killed?
На сьогодні
As of now, based on the information we have, because it is very difficult to talk about civilians, since south of our country, where the towns and cities are blocked, Kherson, Berdyansk, Mariupol, further east, the area to the east where Volnovakha is, etc., we just don't know how many people have died in that area that is blocked. Let's take Volnovakha as an example. Volnovakha and other towns are empty. They are all destroyed. There are no people there, so it's difficult to talk about it now.
Складно. Щодо наших військових, то в порівнянні
As to our military, out of the numbers we have,
у нас є, що у нас десь
we think that we lost 2,500 to 3,000
втратили в порівнянні з
in comparison with the Russian military, who lost about 19,000 to 20,000.
таке порівняння, але у нас
That's the comparison. But we have about 10,000 injured, and it's hard to say how many will survive.
Yeah, so a lot of major things there, especially the quote that we must prepare for Russia to use nuclear weapons. And honestly, with what Russia's done, I mean, they've pretty much done everything but that. So it's not really a stretch of the imagination to think that that won't be the next thing. Another key date coming up for Russia is May 9th, which is Russia's, quote, victory day from World War II. And a lot of people are saying that Russia is going to step up the pressure and potentially the brutal tactics to say to their country that they have claimed some type of victory by Victory Day. It's kind of like a July 4th day for them. So the question is, will they try to claim some type of victory by May 9th? And what will they do by that day in the next upcoming, 2-3 weeks by then? So that, and will they try to use nuclear weapons or chemical weapons, or what kind of brutal tactics will happen between now and then? Yeah. If you heard my wife in the background, she says, if you heard my cat, my little cat Snowy in the background, she's making him some some tuna. She said, knowing Putin, it'll be a victory day no matter what. Yeah. Putin, it's just, just like they sank their own battleship, right? Putin will claim it's a victory no matter what. They've, denazified the country. We've claimed victory. But man, if only in a different world they didn't have nukes. If only in a different world nukes didn't exist. What a different world it would be then, right? Yeah, 100 years ago. The problem here now is that it's just such a deadly world now. It's a tough situation, and that's why nobody wants to step in. And the problem here is, like, if the U.S. gets drawn in, imagine all the criticism. Like, imagine what all the Republicans are going to say. It's Biden's fault, right? Imagine if the U.S. gets into a nuclear war, how deadly that would be, and how many people would blame it on Biden, right? Or imagine how many people already probably do, right? Um, I mean, you know how sides blame one another and stuff, and then on the other side of the coin, I was talking to someone earlier today, and they were saying, why don't they step in now? Why don't they step in now? And my just natural response was, well, because Putin's got nukes. Yeah, I mean, if the U.S. just steps in and just goes for it, well, uh, that's probably the only reason we haven't is because he's got a whole bunch of nukes. Yeah, if Putin didn't have nukes, the U.S. and probably NATO and the EU, we all probably would have just stopped this war by now. I mean, let's be realistic here. Um, but he's got nukes. That's the whole problem. That's why the whole world doesn't want to just step in because it's nuclear war. That's yeah, that's the problem. That's why everybody's scared or cautious, whatever you want to call it here. So it's like you're walking this fine line where you got like some Republicans saying that Biden's scared, and then you got some Republicans saying that Biden's going to cause World War III. It's like you can't have it both ways, right? Like, if we go to war with Russia, you're going to say Biden caused World War III, and then you have other people saying Biden's scared. He's doing too much. He's not doing enough. And really, if you had Trump as the president, you'd have people saying the same thing, right? If I was president, you'd have people saying the same thing. It's really a tough line to walk because they have nukes. Literally, it's probably the only major reason. Plus, they're just a massive country. And I mean, when you think about like what happened in World War II with Hitler, um, think about how long it took to go in there and get Hitler. It's not just like you could just go in there and send in a team and just get him. I mean, with Hitler, it was a whole World War II situation. It took years. It wasn't just like, oh, just send in someone and go get him. World War II took. Think of that whole. It was just a massive operation with millions of people. I mean, and I mean, I don't know if we nobody wants to go through that, right? I mean, but on the other hand, Putin's never going to stop. I mean, look at this guy. He's just, I don't know. I don't know. And the problem here is that, and I think that President Zelensky might be right. This could go on forever. And then Putin, they already kind of leaked their plans by accident. They want to take over other countries like Moldova and stuff after this. Well, um, and they already took over Crimea in 2014. This is all just kind of part of their master plan. When you kind of relate this to Hitler, it's really the same thing. And the problem is this is affecting us all because one, there's a threat of World War III, right? And I mean, look at Sweden and Finland are literally training their people like crazy right now, saying, "Oh my God, we're right next to Russia, and they just threaten us with nukes." And remember that we're right next to Russia too. Alaska and Russia like literally touch. You can ice skate across in the wintertime. Um, I mean, Alaska's right there, and you know, yeah, it's crazy. And really, we're all being affected here as well with a lot of other things: the price of oil, the price of gas, the price of food. A lot of this inflation is because of those things going on right now. The price of food has just hit an all-time high globally for the whole world. The US and the whole world has hit an all-time high. So yeah, every time we go to the grocery store, a lot of this stuff is because of the war. It's not just here in the U.S. It isn't here in the U.S. But Russia and Ukraine are the world's largest producers in tandem and combined for wheat and flour and multiple different things there. And because they're Ukraine literally can't ship it out, and Russia's not shipping it out to any unfriendly countries. That has skyrocketed the price of multiple different foods and anything made with those foods. And because of the price of gas and the price of oil, we're not buying Russian oil anymore. But as we all kind of know this here by now, it's sent these prices of gas and oil skyrocketing. And we know that everything that gets delivered to the grocery store or even Walmart or CVS or anything like that, all that stuff has a built-in transportation cost on it. So this is affecting all of us, and the longer that whole situation goes on, if that goes on for years, oh my goodness, can you believe how long these prices are going to stay inflated? Now let's be real here. All the inflation is not because of that. Not all the inflation, but there is some, whatever percentage of the inflation is, um, partially because of that, because of the high prices of gas, because of the high prices of food, because of the high prices of oil. Yeah, and when you think about now the latest round of stimulus checks that these multiple different states are passing or proposing or in the process of debating and passing, and the federal government now is considering here passing as well, because of inflation. Well, inflation is being exacerbated because of this war situation. And the longer this goes on, the worse it's going to hit everybody here at home. And heaven forbid we actually have a World War III situation. I mean, yeah, think about it. Inflation in March was 8.5%, the worst it's been in 40 years. And remember, it's been going up. It was 7.9% the month before in February, and then it spiked up to 8.5% in March. So just imagine if this war continues to go on. Imagine if it even just stays, even if it doesn't even get worse. Imagine if it just stays anywhere around these levels for the rest of this year. Imagine if it stays for these levels for longer than this year. Imagine if this goes on into 2023 and this war is still going on and oil prices are still going on. Imagine if the EU, the European Union, says we're going to do a complete ban on Russian oil. That is going to send the price of oil skyrocketing. Okay. That's another thing that could happen. Yeah, so even if we don't buy any Russian oil, if the EU says we're not buying Russian oil as well, that will send the price of oil and gas skyrocketing. Because remember, this is all a global society. So even if we don't buy any Russian oil, it will send the price of gas skyrocketing. Yeah, so if you've been watching my show, you've learned this stuff. Um, Even if we didn't buy any foreign oil at all, it would still send the price of gas skyrocketing, even if we were 100% self reliant. Because remember, the price of oil and the price of gas is sold on a stock market like trading system, and it's controlled through the gas companies, BP, Chevron, Exxon, and oil is sold by the barrel. Okay. So if the barrel of oil price skyrockets because of global factors, we're still going to be paying those same prices. So that war or shortages anywhere in the world, same thing with food shortages anywhere in the world, this all affects us. And yeah, I think we've all kind of learned that here over these last several months or from the pandemic here as well. Supply chain shortages is kind of a new term we've all learned here over the last, I don't know, several months or years. I mean, who ever heard of a supply chain shortage? It wasn't a frequently worded vocabulary word term that we used here recently, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date on all this, everything affecting our economy, and yeah, there's really a lot going on here. And the longer this affects us, the longer it's going to hit us all here in our wallets and everything. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date. Make sure to subscribe to our channel here. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see my newest video on all these states and federal stimulus checks. I just did a big video on that as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.